Correct.
So give me a second. So like they explained during the weekend at several occasion, like get a building in a little bit more poor shape, fix it, get the like get the change the window, like get it eco energetic, so that way you can get the rebate from government, and after that you can reinvest, you can refinance the building because you increase the value out of it, and after
Yes.
that you can pull the money of the investor out and just keep your building and buy another building with the same money of the same investor, or just give them the money with their profit, kind of a thing. So that's the idea. So that's what I'm going for, and like we learn as much as we can. So I don't know if you remember Pierre Paul. He's from Calgary. The other Frenchman, he was a speaker on the Friday. He had a booth down here too. Like at this point right now, like we try to find out how to do here, hard to start actually. I get the old picture, I get the old idea of what I want to do after the weekend, but I don't have the starting line. I don't know where to start. I don't know how to get the investor. I know how to find the building. I know how to
Okay.
evaluate the building. I know to see what's the quality of a building after 25 years in construction. One of the
Okay.
guy in my team's also structural engineer, and he
Okay.
owns 17 door. He owns 17 door himself, and he kind of maybe wants to join my team and to be part of my company. But again, you have to sell another company that he have before. So like there's a lot of moving pieces right now, and I just try to see what I gotta do. Like the conference been what, 3 weeks now since we back, 3 weeks, almost a
Yeah, it's
month.
only 3 weeks. Yes.
So yeah, so that's why there I'm at. So that's where we at right now.
Okay,
So,
buddy.
and I
So,
also want to do cabin on my yard because I have 10 acres with a
okay.
little fountain, and so I thought, and we only like an hour from Edmonton, half an hour from St. Albert. I don't know if you know the area. So,
Yeah.
but I want to put some like cabin or sea can or even place to park holiday trailer and rent
Okay.
that out on the weekend to people.
Okay. Very good. You are going into multifamily, but you have good 25 years of construction experience. That's amazing. And what is your real estate experience? Single family, you bought many properties and sold, or not yet?
Not yet. Like I got my own house. Like I bought houses one after each other, but buy one, sell one, buy one, sell one.
Okay. Okay.
I never rent anything. I was
Okay.
afraid to rent actually. To be honest with you, I was afraid to rent because I thought that you got a beautiful house and people are just gonna beat it up. And after,
Mhm.
you're gonna lose like the value of your house, and you know what I mean? Like
True.
you got to pick your tenant. It's easy to get a house trashed out. Like it's only drywall and 2x4, and it's
Yeah.
only to wreck a floor, and those things are expensive to fix. But after the weekend, I was going to buy actually one or two houses and flip them. That was my idea at the beginning. Just buy
Okay.
houses and flip them. But when I talked to everyone over there, like even Brad, I don't know if you remember him, but he
Right.
was one
Yeah.
of the speakers. He did one house and that's it because he realized that it was too much time consuming for the revenue, for the margin of
Mm-hmm.
profit. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's why I'm going like in 20 apartment building because I have a business plan that's all put up together already.
Okay.
Like hard to get the building. I know I need investor at least with 25%, that down payment. That's what I heard from almost every broker over there. And I
Correct.
got my exit strategy, like Mel and Dave was talking about, like the amount of
Mm-hmm.
time that I would be able to flip the building, for 20 apartment house. I know I can do this in a year. So after a year, I can probably get the building reevaluated. And after that, get the money back to the investor and keep the property. or even, like just like it's all about 1 year project, like that's what I tried to get into. Everything's already planned. Like
Yes.
soon as we buy the property, I know exactly what I'm looking for building, which kind of building. I know exactly in which area
With
I
whom are
want
you
that.
planning?
Pardon me?
With whom are you planning? Who will work with you, the business plan? Your business partner
Right
or
now,
spouse?
I just put everything on paper with me and my daughter, and
Okay.
that's what we have for business plan. We didn't have anyone else. Like I got a guy, like the engineer that have 17 door. He's the one that's looking out for property, and he asked me in which area I want the property. Like
Okay.
we even maybe find like a 12 apartment building in
Okay.
St. Albert. And St.
Okay.
Albert's a pretty hot spot right now, like it's pretty nice place to buy. I'm just
Yes.
looking to see what's the price of the building, to see
Okay.
how much we like. It's always like, to me, it's all mathematics, like as long as the math drive, that's all I
Yes.
really care, kind of a thing. Like if
Mm-hmm.
I can buy something with a fair amount of money, and when I fix it, for like, I know exactly what I want to change in it. The kitchen, like even
Yes.
if the kitchens are no good, the window. I got my flooring guy. I already talked to him. Like I
So
got all the
mathematics
people in mind.
means so the
Huh?
mathematics means is it about the flipping side or the purchase and complete the down payment, things like that? Which mathematics are you very familiar and comfortable?
But I want ideal. I want to keep them. I want to refinance them after a
Of course.
year, and
True.
after I want to keep the building so I can get the capital of the investor
100%.
out. Like
True.
example, if I get a building for $10 million, just
Hmm.
make number round. Okay,
Yeah.
if I get a building for $10 million, I need at least 2.5 million to get into the building. Like to be able to purchase the building and to get financing from the bank. That's the way I understand, because
Okay.
they say it's always minimum 25%. But after,
I
when
got.
I'm done flipping the building, I want to increase the value to the building up to 15 million. So when I got the 80% back, like we refinance
Okay.
after a
I got the
year.
question. I got the idea. So here, Mel and Dave, are you a student of them or you just listen to them in that event alone?
Well, I listened to them, but I talked to other people. Like I talked to Brett a little bit,
Okay.
the guy from Texas, and actually I was going to follow his course. But what
Okay.
happened? Like right now, I have an injury. I break my collarbone and my wrist. I have a
Okay.
motorcycle accident.
All right.
So yeah, and that's why it took me a little bit more time to get back into it. I talked a lot with Pierre Paul. Pierre Paul is one of the guy in Alberta that have Nangas 70 door or something like that.
Correct.
So, and he have some apartment in Edmonton, and that's what
Oh,
he does. He try to find. He's got investor that they invest at least $900,000. Like he built his portfolio, and he's the one that managing the company. And through
okay.
all those building that I want to get, I
And
also got management company that I gonna create. So that's
okay.
where,
So we
like
can
like
go.
everything's gonna be in home. You know what I mean? Does that
Okay.
make any
So I
sense?
understand your background. So we can go a little deeper. So here, multifamily is the best compared to single family because you did a lot of single family. Now multifamily you're moving. How serious are you? And what is going to stop you from getting into a multifamily other than the down payment?
Actually, like nothing's gonna stop me to do it. It's just the
Okay.
way it is.
Okay.
Like it's something that I'm doing for with the kid. Like I got three daughter, and like my oldest is right here sitting by the side, and by side
How
of
old is
me.
your older?
She's 18. She's gonna say hi on the
18.
camera real quick.
Oh
She's
yes,
right
I
here,
saw that.
and she's
Very good.
listening to the conversation actually.
Very good. Very good.
So she's the one that's gonna take all my notes and everything.
Hey, good, good. Okay. So, you are definitely going to continue. And of course, you said you don't know where to start. And one good point I can say is in single family, by the time we bought the property, 90% of 100% of the game is over. Multifamily, only after you buy 50% game starts. So that is the
Yeah.
situation. So we have to buy the right property and do the right things in the right order. So that is definitely true. But in single family, did you have any coaches, mentors, or did you follow any courses or anything?
No, no, I
No.
didn't follow anything yet. Like that's what I say. I'm getting started, and I give myself 10 years to get close to at least Naga door. Naga 50
How
door.
many doors in 10 years?
At least Naga 50. That's what my goal is.
950.
One on grid
Yes.
to Naga 50. That's the minimum
Perfect.
that what I want to
Perfect.
get,
In 10
you
years'
know,
time?
in 10 years.
Okay. Why you put that number? Any particular reason?
Well, because I did the maths. Like if I buy
Okay.
a 20 apartment building, okay,
Mm-hmm.
once a year, if I renovate them and flip them, not flip them, but if I renovate them and
Mm-hmm.
refinance them, that's give me
Okay.
200 door in 10 years, right?
Okay. So in
So
10 years'
like
time,
150, it's
okay.
because I know the first year is gonna be probably slower, but
Okay.
soon as I get bigger, investors gonna believe more in the company,
Okay.
like
One
because
thing.
we create a company. So
Yeah.
after that, like the first 3 years, it's going to build a company, and
Okay.
the next 7 years, it's to grow the company. And I do this for a game, like it's not just for the money. It's to me, it's a game. It's
No,
something to do.
okay. Because you said that 150 units, it's a good goal, perfectly okay for 10 years' time. No matter what, you can achieve it. I say that.
Yeah.
Because in one single year itself, I bought about 59 units. One single year, I bought about 10 properties, multifamily, with less down payment, no down payment. That's my strategy as a mortgage broker and accountant. That's how I did that just a few years back. So definitely it is doable. But your ultimate goal, 150 units or something from that, because 150 units can be sometimes worth it for $10 million or even $100 million, depends on the purchase price and the units wherever you are buying. So do you have any idea about the asset under management? Normally we talk in AUM, more than the number of units, we talk about asset under management. So if it is 150 units, how much may be the AUM you think about?
AUM, like the value on the market, like I hope that each building is gonna be close, like especially in Alberta, like a
Mhm.
20 apartment building. The way
Yes.
I'm guessing, they're probably close to about $10 million each. You know what I mean? For 20. So
Okay.
like it's probably close to $100 million. That's
Okay.
that's the reality of it.
Okay.
And after that, like the big key why I want to stick to Alberta for now, and even maybe BC, because I'm looking about all the law that they have,
Yeah.
like the cash for key, like
Yeah.
I'm allergic to that. I'm not giving $10,000 to a tenant to leave my building. It's just not happening. Like they do in Toronto, like that's insane. So to me, I can't do that. So, and that's why my strategy in the building that I want to purchase in Alberta, and that's why I know I'd be able to have a good rotation on it. It's pretty
Okay.
simple because when I got the building, the attendant, like it's not it's not like Quebec. That's not a thing. Quebec, you got to be careful because everyone's moved the 1st of July. You know,
True.
so
Yeah, that's
it's
perfect.
not. So it's different in Alberta. There's people that's getting in the 15th of the month, the 10th. Like there's no physical date, and there's usually on a 20, 30 apartment building. There's going to be people moving in and out every month of the year. You know, so
That's
that's
perfect.
how I gonna
That is
flip those
number
buildings.
one, number one city in Canada for you to enjoy multifamily, no doubt about it. So you are in the
And
right
that's
place.
that's why I'm like, if like the hardest part for me right now is to find the investor. Like to find the inventory, it's not
Mm-hmm.
that hard. I already got someone that finds 6, 7 building,
Mm-hmm.
and I got the friend of my daughter that you just saw. His mom's a
Okay.
real estate agent. So
Okay.
and even with her, I'm gonna get in communication with a real estate agent to be able to have me find those buildings,
Mm-hmm.
like and to get a better purchase price. And
Mm-hmm.
I know exactly, like I'm not going in bad area. Like I'm
Okay.
going in like I'm getting older building, but in good places. So
Correct.
so that's where the value of the building when it's
Yes.
renovated, it's gonna be increased. You can do a castle, but if you do it in the Bronx in New York, it's not going to
Yes.
worth anything because it's the Bronx.
Okay, now
But
we
if you
can
build
talk about
something in
what.
Manhattan, you get good chances.
Yeah, so now we can talk about what we've so far talked about what you know. Now we talk about what you don't know. What you don't know, you said raising capital, and what else you think you don't know, so you may have some guidance and support.
What? Because like I was going to do everything by myself.
hundred
You
percent,
know,
because that is
I
true.
was
You
going
have
to put just my own money at the beginning, but to
okay,
put just my own money, it wasn't
hmm
going to get me far enough and fast enough. And
true,
that's
true.
why when I listen to the others, like,
Okay,
and there's people that's private investor that's
yes,
willing to put their money up front as long as you have a proper business plan and as
mm-hmm,
long as as long as you can show them that you know what you're doing, they
mm-hmm.
won't be afraid to lose their money.
Okay,
Like, and they cannot just go with bank. The other
true.
reason of it, it's I lost $1 million in 5 years with my HVAC company.
Oh yes,
So that's kind of kicked me really bad, in the legs. And like I don't know if you already have lost $1 million in your life, but it's sad.
I know, man. Sure.
Especially then when that's all you have. You know what
That
I
is
mean?
oh,
So, it's just so now I'm rebuilding, even like I'm rebuilding myself, but I'm rebuilding my finances and everything, get back on track and
is
to
there
be
any
able.
partner or only your daughter is working with you? Any business partner or spouse or anybody else?
No, for now it's just gonna be my daughter. The reason of it, it's when you lose $1 million, sometimes the wife don't like it either. So she might
I
take a break from you,
I know.
So because you're not the happiest person to hang around when you see hundreds of thousands of dollars like throwing out the window and doesn't do anything. Like it
Sure.
can, like I said, like it's I'm attached to money, but I'm not attached to money, if that's make any sense. And when you work really hard for something and you just lose everything piece after pieces after pieces because
Mhm.
of employees, and that's why I want multifamily because HVAC company, it's I got
Yes.
6, 10 people, it's 6, 10 vehicle on the road, so
Mm.
you can't supervise the people properly.
Mhm.
Instead, when you have a 20 or 30 apartment building, everyone's always when you renovate the building, you got an eye on everyone. I learned the hard way. It's $1 million lesson, but that's okay. It's only money, and there's more million out there than I can get, so I'm not worried about it. But that's why raising capital never been my big forte because I just did everything by myself.
Okay, so that's understandable. So definitely raising capital, but actually saying when you talk about HVAC, you were the operations manager, you run the business, and you know exactly what is the business and operation. Even that you met a $1 million loss because your passion and experience in one skill doesn't make a business. So that's what really happened. So other parts who manage and how you manage was the reason I hope you lost $1 million in this one. So when you take into the real estate, also 10 unit, 20 unit, 100 units building, again, it's become as a business more than your passion and more than your experience. Definitely your skill is going to be the number one reason you're going to be successful. But at the same time, that may be the number one reason sometimes you may stop you too, because you may try to do everything yourself. Whether you know or not, you have the guts to learn so that you will go deeper. But that is good one way to understand. But at the same time, that is not the way to manage. So managing is totally different from understanding and doing a skill. So again, in this business also, you have to think this as a business, as a self-managing business, so that you will be able to do some part of the job and the balance part of the job should automatically happening by somebody else. So that
Well,
should be
most of
the
the job's going to be done by other people. Like I'm not
100%.
the I'm not like I got carpenter that's gonna change the window. I got the flooring guy that's lined up for everything. Like even
Even
even my HVAC company, like
yes,
like I'm not doing so much HVAC no more. Like I'm finding the people to do the HVAC and I'm just supervising. Like
yeah.
I'm
So
30 some years old. After 25 years, you get fed up to just do everything by yourself.
It is true, but that is back home 25 years back. But here in multifamily, even from the day one, you can just start that practice. That's what we call as a system. Normally in our coaching program, we simply say they call that as an infinite ROI system because the two reasons. First one is a system. Second one, it is infinite ROI because I also try to leverage other people's money. When I put less money or no money, automatically our ROI is going high and infinity. So that's how I bought properties. That's how I teach properties buying. And mostly that is what I'm teaching. That comes into capital raising. Either it can be debt capital or even equity capital. So that's what we are doing. But that's about 40%, 30% value of the total program business or the program. But other one is evaluating the properties, underwriting the properties, then the balance managing and managing that as a business after you purchase the property. So that you should be able to have enough time to relax and do something else. So this is how it's going. So if I can explain, definitely from the experience and explanation from you, definitely yes. If you are interested, we can work together. And you set 150 properties or units within 10 years time. But definitely within 1 year, you can definitely reach a reasonable number of properties. Normally, I say within 6 months to 9 months, you should be able to buy your first property, whether you have down payment or knowledge or experience or what. You have many things together. So definitely you can do it. So here we have about 4 pillars we talk about. First one, of course, when somebody joins, we try to fix if there is any immediate problem or quick fix that need to be fixed so that people can really go to the next level or take other actions as soon as possible. The second one is, of course, we talk about that finding the property and buying the properties. That part you are reasonably experienced, definitely. So the third pillar is the raising capital. Fourth one, of course, making this as a business by accumulating all the team members and everybody, so it can be a self-managing team, the power team. So this is how we are doing that. And do you have any questions or do you understand what I'm talking about? How exactly we are doing?
No, no, I understand. So your course, the course that you got, it's like on fourth pillar. If I'm understanding right, like one is raising capital, managing the property, and the other two, like it was R to find a property, and what's the other one was?
Yeah, the first one we talk about the quick fix because somebody, if they
Quick
really
fix.
want, sometime they may have problems around their situation. So
Yeah.
we may have to go and do something together so that they can start up and do something. So that's a quick fix. We have to explore what is a quick fix you may need or not. Second one is finding the property and starting the search of the properties, things like that. Third one is raising capital. Fourth one is, of course, team building and making this as a self-managing business.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Right. So this
Because
one
she's
actually.
writing that down at the same time.
Okay. So here we go as a 1 year program. So in the 1 year program, we have about 3 days boot camp. We call that multifamily boot camp. So there we try to teach A to Z, how to find a property, calculating, underwriting, due diligence and everything, including financing and down payment, raising capital. It's about 10 different topics. And within that 3 days, they will learn. But after that, every Wednesday, actually the next 3 day boot camp is coming July 7th, 8th, 9th. From that, every Wednesday after that by 7 p.m., so Alberta time about 4 p.m., sometime we may change to Alberta time 6 or 7 o'clock too, if any more people are coming too. We have to decide that. So that is a mentoring session every Wednesday for 16 weeks, so that if they bring some property or whatever questions, we can go through that. So whatever they learn in the 3 days, they can start working or start taking actions and homeworks. And on
Okay.
top of that, every month we'll be having a mastermind. So each month will be a different topics. We'll go deeper from 9:30 to 4:30 or what. It's a full day mastermind. Last mastermind we had on last week on raising capital. Previous mastermind we had on underwriting, but actually one full day took only half the underwriting portion. So we had to put the part two and advanced underwriting for another day. So like that, we keep about 10 different topics for the whole year. And after that, of course, we try to give about 5 one-on-one sessions. So if anybody needs one-on-one, they can book on Zoom or they can come to my office. Whatever the way, we will have about one-on-one 5 numbers. The last one, of course, we can say we give about 10 minutes calls, 5-10 minutes quick calls. people can talk to me or call me so that if they want to take any immediate action, we can discuss. If by chance I miss the call, I'll call them back, because that quick call really helps many people to take a decision ultimately before they waive the condition or buy the property, things like that. They don't need to wait for the next 3 days or 5 days or what. So, and the
Okay.
last one, of course, we are giving about one multifamily online course that's about 16 hours course. So they don't need to, right after they join the program, they don't need to wait. Very next day, they can start working or reading that and things like that. And of course, we try to give the forms and templates and things like that. And we will continue for the whole 1 year. Does it make sense?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. So
it
here,
does make sense.
not a one on an online course, because many people from US and even from other parts of Canada talk to me because they book some online courses. One guy called me 2 days back from multifamily conference. He joined my recent program and he said he paid about $5,000 for an online course in Quebec, but that is purely online, no interaction. So he's not comfortable. He couldn't even get the refund, but he wants to join my program. So I think he's booking another call for tomorrow. So this is about 13 days, full days. I'm going to be in front of people so that we are going to talk and do some interactions. And the other one, 5 one-on-one calls really help people to go around the numbers. As a mortgage broker, definitely I can break the numbers and work with them. So this is how it is continuing.
Okay,
Do you have any questions?
not for now.
Okay. All right. So normally, you say there is nobody else to take a decision other than you and your daughter. And do you think this type of courses is the one you are looking for, or is there anything else that you are looking for?
No, so far it looked like pretty filled up. Does the courses come with the form and everything to be able to calculate all the number and like the ROS and all those things, or do you have or that's because like I look around for even Brad's got a course and they all did have a course actually when we went there. Even Seth Ferguson had a course for 5,000 US dollar actually.
Okay.
And what like some of the people that I talk to, like you have 1 year access to all the program or the information, and
Uh,
some of them you have a lifetime access to the program or the information. How does yours work? Do we have access to all the documents for only 1 year, or it's for lifetime?
no, the online course is the main thing that is lifetime access. And on top of that, we will be giving the underwriting sheets and calculation sheets. That's also for your lifetime access. So you will be having that with you forever. And at the same
Even
time,
when we
normally,
do the update?
sorry.
Even when you do the update, because some like most of the people told me they update their sheet like pretty frequently, the way I understand. So like they
Yeah,
said they do a lot of updates on them. So
because I myself a mortgage broker. Even now, I myself an investor. So what I'm doing using the calculations or sheets is the one I'm sharing. So I will be definitely updating whenever we need to do some updates.
okay,
So no change about it, because I'm continuously getting students. So every time new students come, so I have to update that and keep that on all the time. So that is definitely true. And yeah, so the answer is yes for that.
the answer is yes for that. Okay, and maybe another question that sounds like lunatic a little bit, maybe, but do you gonna help us to also find investor, or like we have to find those people on our own? Because like if you're an investor yourself and you're
Hmm.
building your own company, and when you find people, are you gonna, like do you like how does it work? Because like I know example people, like the way I understand, like everyone try to find their own investor. So like how do you help or to find investor, or we have to find them up all ourselves and we have to build everything off the ground? Like example, if I find a building, like next week, nice property, then I believe that it will be really profitable. Can you help me to put that deal together to find the investor and help me to get it through the bank? Or you just show me how to do it, and after I got to do everything myself?
Yeah, because the good thing here is, when somebody joins the program, we put that a support leader is one role. One of my coaches or the assistant coaches will be there as a support leader. They'll be probably a mortgage broker or a real estate agent. So they will help you in finding the properties, things like that. And of course, I will be the accountability partner. So if you say I want to buy about 20 units by end of this year, Every meeting, I exactly know what is your target. So I should be able to ask you question or help you push you forward. So that I will be doing that. And again, you as you asked about investors, normally if somebody brings a good property, I try to circulate within my group, because actually as a founder of Canada Investors Club, I have enough people working with me or enough contacts in my circle with emails, so I can even distribute that. But of course, it is a raising capital, is a regulated area, but some things you have to work with your lawyer and accountant. We will teach you and tell you. But on top of that, just blasting an opportunity is definitely possible, so that you can really work with my investors. Sometimes even my students also do that. Normally, I try to promote that within our students. If they come for the first property, I simply say, just share the profit and share the risk and share the knowledge. So come and work with my existing students as well. So they try to share that. Even last group, they already talk to each other and try to find a property so that they can invest together.
Okay.
So the first property, it is the best way for them to learn more. And then, of course, they can bring their own investors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's the price for that course? There's
Yeah,
always a
so
price on something.
of course, yes, because you think about $100 million portfolio you want to build. So even for within 1 year's time, you are thinking about $1 million to $10 million portfolio, and definitely there will be a cost and time and things like that. But here it's actually more of my time personally and group time. But everywhere I'm going to be there too. And as I told, the package has how many on in person and group things like that. So the total price is coming about $10,000 Canadian. And
Okay.
after we do this program, or the once a person comes as a paid member, of course the things that going to follow is, first one is of course a welcome call from my client success manager, my accountant, and then she will be telling you what are the passwords and login access and things like that, all the resources, and she will show the where the website and everything. So you will have some comfortable environment so that you will understand what you bought. Second thing,
Okay.
of course, an onboarding call, an introduction call with me. You can book anytime on my website. My website is investorleo.com. So there you can simply go and you will see about 45 minutes call. But for those who book online, it is not 45 minutes, it's 1 hour. So you can book any time for the first onboarding call, so that we can go through with your portfolio and plannings and things like that. So we can plan how we have to do it. And the second thing will happen is the 3-day boot camp. So after that, you will probably attend to the 3-day boot camp. After the boot camp, normally I say you better book a second call, so that there we will be planning the 90-day blueprint based on your goal and things like that. We will see, okay, what you want to do now and what you are already doing good. Based on that weekly plan, we put it for 90 days. So the 90 days blueprint. Normally we put about 2 90-day blueprints in 1 year. So that's how we try to push that people, because sometimes people do it, but some priority comes, they do it to something else. So that's how they are doing. So 2 times we will be doing that blueprints.
Okay.
And after that, of course, you will come to my monthly masterminds and even the other trainings and boot camps. And at the same time, whenever you feel really need some help, you can book a call one-on-one, or even the 10 minutes calls. So this is how the whole 1 year will be going. So we exactly know what is your target for 1 year. And at the same time, every time I try to push forward you so that you can go towards that goal.
Holy shit, what happened?
Satamar brother.
Yeah, give me a second.
Yeah.
You just disappeared from my computer.
Tell me again.
I just got no image anymore. Give me a second.
All right.
There
Okay.
we go. You're back.
Okay.
My computer was doing an update or something. Sorry about that. Okay,
No.
so it's $10,000. The boot camp raw in person or online?
The last time I put it in person, and this time it's going to be on Zoom, because it's 3 days, and many people from Ottawa and some 1 person or 2 person in Alberta, not Alberta, Vancouver, things like that, far away, one from USA and all. So we thought of putting that as Zoom. But
Okay.
if anybody is from Toronto, they can come in person to that event, because I'm going
Okay.
to have it from my office.
Okay. Okay, so it's $10,000 access to everything for a lifetime. We got the boot camp, the you get the 90 days of blueprint, this, that. So it's a pretty full-on course. And you're
Of
Canadian on
course.
top of that.
Of
And
course,
you're
yes.
brokerage and you're broking brokerage mortgage broker too.
Yes. I'm an
Yeah.
accountant by profession. 2009, I got laid off, and after that, I became a mortgage broker. Then only I started my career as a real estate investor mostly.
Okay. How many units you have as it is right now?
What's that?
How many apartment you have right now?
Yes,
Do you
actually I have about 10, and about right now we about last 1 year is about 2021 to 22 I bought about 59 units,
okay? All commercial?
all commercial, some mixed
Yeah.
commercial, some commercial, but I love mixed commercial because in Ontario we have to be a little careful because pure residential may have some problems. So I love commercial so that I can increase the rent as and when I want if the market demands like that.
Yeah, I know, huh? So okay. Okay, so let me think about this. We're gonna talk the kid and I, my daughter and I. We'll talk
Mhm.
about it. It's something interesting, of course. It is.
Yep. So why don't you call your
I,
daughter now so we can have a small introduction and get some idea. You can take your time, but if she has some questions or concern, put her also. She's your business partner, right?
yeah. Do you have any question about this? Like so far, everything's
Why is she far
pretty.
away?
Pardon me?
She can join you. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Do you have any questions? Of course, you can share anything with your dad later too, but if you have any questions, you can even ask now.
I do not have any questions.
All right. Okay.
Do you think what you said makes sense so far? You said you get us access to all his network, everything. So in other words, it should be able if we find a property to get us to help us to get the first property.
Yeah.
The way I understand it. Like
Yeah.
he'll be able to help us to find the people if we need investor and stuff like that to be able to get them. The only thing I still got to talk to my lawyer, but that's something that I was already planned already to see how we can raise capital legally because
Oh
like
yeah.
that's not a thing that they say at the convention. It was
True.
like it's pretty tricky to raise capital. You just can go there and collect a bunch of check. It just
Oh
doesn't
no,
work
no,
like
no.
that.
You have long-term plan. You have to be really careful. But of course, we can interview some lawyers from Alberta itself for you so that it may be easy. Security lawyers are totally different from real estate lawyers.
Okay. So do you
Yes.
suggest a real estate lawyer or just a lawyer to be
No,
able
for
to?
your fundraising, you have to have your security lawyer separately. They don't normally involve in real estate transactions.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. Okay. And yeah, let me think at this. Like I'm gonna put everything like together and see are that like I'm interested. There's no doubt about it. It's
Uh-huh.
just like I said, since the conference, I got a motorcycle accident. So
Okay.
like income wise, I just gotta make sure everything's go well.
Uh-huh.
But except that, like, yeah, give me a week or so just to time to put like because I'm like I said, since the conference, I'm gathering a bunch of information.
Uh-huh.
And what I do, like I'll get back to you guys like probably by the end of the week or even beginning of next week. Like like what's my big deal right now? It's really to try to see if there's building around that we can buy because I don't want to build one
Okay.
building like this. It's too much time consuming,
True.
and it's just like and it's a different part of investment. You know, when you build a building, you need more capital because
Of
you like the bank won't loan you the money, like because when there's nothing physical. So you kind of have to go dry out. And after that, when you dry out and you get all your money till the last penny in it, they're gonna appraise the building. And after that, they're gonna
Yeah,
say, okay,
I
you
know
got that
construction
much.
process is very painful, but at the same time, it is not always profitable. Sometimes everybody get the profit, but the person who is running that show may get a loss.
That's
So
just it. So that's why I'm not too much into building. I most likely want to get something that's already
yeah,
there and just make over, do a makeover on it. And
100%.
after that, so I can refinance. So, but the way I understand, you got good connection. If I need a mortgage broker, like you probably have good connection to help me to refinance those buildings. So,
Of
so,
course.
so far, you're the more qualified person I talked to. Let's just
So,
put it this way, because like, you know which door to knock in order to get what we need. Does that
sure.
make any sense? Like
Yeah.
some peoples are really good. They present themselves really well, but they don't have the inside out of the business. So they say, oh, you can do this or do that, and oh, you should try. It's like, how can I say? It's like a used car salesman. Oh, you'll get approved 9%. Well, we
Sure.
don't know how, and we don't know the rate. I
Sure.
don't feel like you're that kind of person. Like, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure you understand the value of money, the way you talk.
Of course, man.
So, and if you build this company and like if you bought 52 unit in 1 year, so you understand the strategy that I tried to build. Like at the first time you start slow, and more that you go, like we kind of have a same strategy. Let's put it this way.
Sure.
So it's just I got to put just got to put my head around it.
Uh-huh.
Scrabble all the information. She just finished school today, so
Okay.
that's why I wanted, like, I didn't want to disturb her during the exam session. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
when we came back from the conference, we didn't talk too much about it because it was just like came back from the conference, do all your exam because she's been in exam for 2 weeks at school. I'm pretty sure you know what it is.
I know.
So now this week is the first week that we were going to put all the stuff together. So I
Mhm,
need to read, I need to know what she write down during the convention, and I can
mhm.
put what I write down during the convention, try to put everything together.
Yeah.
Like she's 18 years old. So you cannot greener than that. Like that's brand new. 18 years old, it's like, and I think that's a great way to start your life, starting
Definitely.
investing in yourself. And
Yes.
like you said it, you got laid off. Like I got laid off. I work for people that got laid off, and
Yes.
like the owner is always the last one to get laid off. That's what I find out. So I say, let's be the owner. You know,
Sure.
so like just give us a little bit of time, and after
Okay.
that we'll probably, like, I'm going back east. I'm going back east at the end of the summer. That's not a thing. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
going for, all my family's from Quebec. Like I'm pretty sure
Oh,
that you detect my French accent.
mm,
So like all my family's from Quebec. So,
okay.
and maybe we'll go back to Toronto, and maybe we just like go to see you at the office eventually. Like give me a little bit of time, just
Okay.
put everything together, get myself recovery from my injury,
Okay.
because I really crashed a speed bike. Like I
Definitely.
crash a, like I don't know if you know motorcycle a little bit, but
I
I
have an
crashed a motorcycle at
RC.
100 kilometers an hour.
How much
So,
you're at?
pardon me,
What's the speed you rode?
close to 100 kilometers an hour
Okay. I have a
when I
CBR
crashed
at
it.
home, CBR 600, but for the last 3 years, I didn't ride it at all. No time. Battery also dead.
But I'm driving, but the bike I crashed, it's a Yamaha R1.
Okay.
So if you know motorcycle a little bit, like the one of my, but because I'm building my race team too, like I
All right.
got like to be on the speed track, like,
That's
and actually July 8th and 9 we're gonna be getting middle daughter on the track, and the youngest daughter doing flag on the track. So she's volunteer. So that boot camp, I almost guarantee that I won't be able to get there
Okay.
because like I got my kid on the track, and as a good father that I try to be,
Okay.
like I try to sponsor them and encourage them, and like 16 years old driving a Kawasaki Ninja 600, I think
Wow.
it's pretty cool. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
True, true, true.
So, and that's not a thing that I'm trying to find sponsor for it.
All right.
And that's, but it's just it's expensive. It's an expensive hobby,
It's
and the kids are good.
true.
That's all
So,
I can say.
and if by chance you join and you couldn't come for the event, also we all give that Zoom call and recordings, so you don't need to worry. One of my investors from Vancouver, last time he booked the vacation to Mexico, but he thought the price is good. He wanted to lock it, and he bought the course. He went to Mexico and came back and learned that. And about 3 weeks time, he bought a fiveplex by
Oh, I
going
believe
through
so.
on
I
within
believe
three
so.
weeks.
That's what I mean. Like the price makes sense. I just gotta make sure that I got money to
Yeah.
pay everything else.
Mhm.
Like it's still $10,000, right? Like it's not like $1,000 or two.
Of course.
And
Yes.
the fact that I got no income for the last month
Mhm.
because I'm injured,
True.
and like that's the reality. Like seriously, it's not a joke. I got a cast.
Oh yeah, I
Like
understand 100%, man. That's not a problem.
so,
I understand it perfectly.
you know,
But you have a
but
big dream and
give me a
goal.
couple of weeks. Give me at least a week or two to
Okay.
finish with her to put all together. Like we
Okay.
getting a course,
Yeah.
like your course, it's exactly the same price than Dave and Mel.
But it is
Okay,
on price is exactly same. What they are giving is online course only. I think it is not
but
one on
that's
one.
exactly you give more. Like you get more
100%.
value in your course,
Yes.
and you're a mortgage broker too, and that's a
Yes.
big asset because like when I need to try to sign a deal, I
Yes.
don't need to find a mortgage broker. You
True.
already won. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So you'll be able to help me, like the way I understand the conversation we've been through, like
Hmm.
like like Dave and Mills get me to use their people.
Yeah.
Me, I go through you directly. So
It's true.
it's not you plus one plus one plus one, and
True.
every time you cut people off,
Yeah.
like every time you get a chance to get less people involved, it
True.
make it easier because
Yeah.
it's too many conversation. And Dave and Mel get us to use their lawyer, but on the other hand, I already have a lawyer. One of my friends a judge in the city of Edmonton.
All
So
right.
so like when I need a lawyer, I call my friend and he
Of
tell me, okay, what you want a lawyer for? And
course.
like he can't get me a good lawyer, so I'm not worried about the lawyer part
Yeah.
because like there's one thing that judges know, it's all the good lawyer in town because they
Yeah.
see
One
them every
example.
day.
Last time in the month of March, I was having a presentation in Marriott Hotel, 15 minutes, and Mel and Dave also was there. I don't complain anybody; they are good, but they had about 1 hour presentation. One of my students who joined on that event, he watched or listened both conversation. His name is Ken. He's a CFO in one of the billion-dollar company in downtown Toronto, and he
Yeah,
joined my course. And 3 months time, he already invested in USA, and 75% of the investment he will get in 2.5 years time. So he compared both courses and everything, then he joined
yeah.
me. He's already a CFO. So think about it and talk to my manager or myself anytime. But other
Yeah.
than the price, is there any other questions you have now?
No, like seriously, you look like you got everything figured out. Like
Okay.
there's no really gray area. That's
Okay.
the most complete course that
Mm-hmm.
I kind of see there with those boot camp.
Yep.
Like I would say for so far you lead. You lead in almost all the area.
Of course.
It's just that I have to put stuff together.
I know.
And there's my friend that's the engineer
Okay.
that's looking for the building right now. Like he
Okay.
said that he probably wants to invest with me, but I'm
Mhm.
gonna see how serious he is because I'm gonna present him the conversation we just have. And if you have more question, I might call back one of your team member,
Yeah,
or text you back to ask
true.
him if I can do a little Zoom call just to if I miss something to explain to him.
Mhm.
And like if he wants to invest, I already spent $10,000 to go to the conference. So
Yes,
that's what it cost me to get there. With the
true.
platinum ticket, the hotel room, the flight, the dish, like it wasn't cheap, right? So
Of,
that's how much I believe in that,
no worry.
But at the end of the day,
Mhm.
like if the people that wants to invest with me are willing to invest, like
Okay.
the way you talk, I don't need to put $200,000 up front in order to get a building that I can buy,
Yeah.
because you get the possibilities of cash down or whatever. So maybe it's worth like, and I'm not saying maybe, most likely it's worth to pay $10,000 to
Yeah.
don't have to put $200,000 up front. If you can
Yeah.
help me to get the acquisition of a building with no cash down, or just
Yeah.
find investor, or just like raise capital, and if you can coach us, and that's not a thing. There's a lot of people that offer the course, but not the coaching.
Of
Is that
course.
I don't know if
Because it is
if you understand the
one-on-one time,
difference.
right?
For
That's
me, it's big
expensive. That's true.
because like you can follow any kind of course online. There's plenty of
Because the
courses.
reason I had to put that way is, my big promise here, if anybody is committed and serious within 6 months' time, they should be able to buy a property. And if they don't buy within 1 year's time, at least I have to continue working with them for free. So if I don't give the right tools or things, then I may have to work every year with them. I cannot afford. I
Yeah,
have 4 kids. So I have to give the right things in the right way as soon as
like
possible
I got for kid,
so
I got
that you
nothing to live for
get
free.
that.
But you get that's what I mean. Like I really like your attitude and everything. Just let
Right.
me talk to my engineer. Let me have a conversation with her. Let's put all
Mhm.
the notes together. Give me a little bit of time.
Yep.
Like I'm most likely gonna go with you. Like so
Yep.
far,
Mhm.
like it's the most complete one.
Yeah.
And the calculation sheet are for lifetimes, and to me that's big
True.
because like I plan to do this. Like I got 3 more kids, right?
Mhm.
And those 3 more kids, like I'm building a legacy for them.
True.
Like I don't know you too much, but I can tell you a little bit about me, a little bit more. Like I already
Okay.
did everything I want in life.
Kidding.
I already did everything I want. Like to me, it's their journey and it's for them that I do that. And that's why they have to be involved,
I
you know.
totally get it, buddy. But don't worry, because if you buy 100 units, your daughter can buy 1,000 units. So,
But that's the idea. Like
true.
I want to be the next Grant Cardone. Like I want to be like one of the biggest one in Canada.
Yeah.
Like that lady, that Stephanie, whatever. Like I don't know that French lady that have a
Mhm.
$6 billion portfolio.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like I'm not afraid of billion. Like I'm gonna
But
tell you the same thing that I tell my kid every day. One day we're
tell
gonna
your
have our
dad.
own private jet.
Yeah, I totally get it. I don't want to take too much of your time. Take your decision. Connect with my manager or me. We can start somewhere faster.
Yeah, we will. Like
Okay,
give
man.
me just a little bit of time to put everything
Yep.
together. And but
Yes.
we'll talk on each other again and in the soon future. I can tell you that.
Definitely, man. Take care. So we'll see you soon.
See you really soon, and thank you so much for your time. Deeply appreciate
Okay.
it. And thanks for
Bye.
your
Okay,
son
buddy.
in the back seat that's been waiting for our
Oh,
conversation.
my daughter. Yeah, yeah. My elder daughter, she is graduating grade 8 today. So that's what they are in. I'm in the meeting.
So, but thank you so much for your time, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for the time, buddy. Thanks. Best of luck.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.